Good Wednesday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Johnny Lively to talk about our Wednesday morning, but also the rest of the week and into the weekend and the big changes that we're expecting late Friday and into Saturday morning. Good morning, everybody. Hope it's not too bad this morning. It is somewhat warm, somewhat foggy in some areas, but if we look at the satellite and radar this morning, sponsored by Switch Electric, we're really just seeing that a lot of the clouds, or more of the high clouds, are moving into the central Texas and Dallas-Fort Worth area, but we're still going to have mostly to partly cloudy skies throughout the day today, very similar to what we've seen the last couple of days. And let's dive into the rest of the show, sponsored by HB Neal Construction. Here we are with the temperatures across the United States. We had a front that moved into parts of central Texas, our northern, well far to the north. Northern counties had that front, but it did not come all the way down into Houston, Beaumont, Lake Charles, and even New Orleans. Look how warm and muggy it is far south, and then it is cool and chilly the further north that you go, like Salt Lake City at 38, Amarillo at 44, Dallas at 47, but here locally, it is nice and warm. You can see St. Augustine is very similar to Dallas over there into the 40s, but the further south that you go where that front did not make it, Jasper at 66, Houston 64, Beaumont 67, Lake Charles into the mid to upper 60s, down towards the coast already into the mid to upper 60s as well too, thanks to our sponsor of Do Good Credit Union. Today is our outdoor and construction forecast sponsored by Modern Concrete. We're starting out with some foggy conditions. Later on this afternoon, partly to mostly cloudy skies is what we're expecting, and once again we will top off around the upper 70s to low 80s, around that 80-degree mark. No rain is in the forecast until we get into tomorrow. On Thursday, that's when we can see the isolated to scattered showers. Let's look at the upper level flow sponsored by Neutron Electrical Services. Right now, we're stuck in this warm and mild pattern right now, not much going on, but some changes definitely are on the way as our next cold front will be moving into the state of Texas early on Thursday, and then that strong cold front will be making its way into southeast Texas and southwest Louisiana once we get into Friday evening, mainly into early Saturday morning. This is the time frame that we can see some showers and possibly some isolated thunderstorms Friday afternoon getting into Friday evening. A little bit better coverage towards the lakes region versus Beaumont and Lake Charles, but the further east that it goes, this will likely start ramping up with some stronger storms in central Louisiana, getting into Mississippi and Alabama. We'll show that severe weather risk here in a second, but here you are, you've seen that strong cold front continues to move eastward. Cooler and drier air pushes into southeast Texas and southwest Louisiana throughout the weekend. Highs in the 60s on Saturday and Sunday, lows back into the 40s, getting into the 30s as we get into early next week. So here we are with the rainfall outlook right now. Some showers are possible coming up tomorrow on Thursday. A little bit better coverage as we get into Friday as that front starts approaching our region. Coverage does seem a little bit better as the further north that you go, like into our lakes region. And then by Saturday morning, we'll have some lingering showers, just 10% coverage. And then throughout the day on Saturday, that drier and cooler air will move into the region. That's going to stick around into early next week. Futurecast for today that we're mainly going to see is mostly cloudy skies throughout the day today. We're not going to see any rain. This is thanks to our sponsor of Neutron Electrical Services. It's not until Thursday we can start getting the isolated to possibly scattered showers, and that will kind of continue throughout the day on Thursday. Don't think we'll have fog tonight because of the breezy conditions. The biggest thing that we're going to see on Thursday is the showers, but the strong wind gusts. We can get 30 to if not 40 mile an hour wind gusts with the breezy conditions of the winds out of the south. But not too much going on really today and tomorrow. It's really we're going to focus on Friday. That's when the strong cold front moves into the region. Is there a chance for strong to severe storms? Not necessarily. It's going to be more towards the central Louisiana, getting into that Louisiana-Mississippi border along Yazoo City, Greenville into Jackson, Mississippi, and then eventually moving eastward into Starkville and into Huntsville. That's where we'll see the potential for the stronger storms. So as we get into Friday morning, we can see a cluster of storms building into our northern counties like Lufkin into Jasper, and then that activity picks up once we get into the afternoon. It continues in our northern counties, and the further south that you go, we've got that 40 to 50% coverage, and then by Friday evening, everything starts moving further east, getting into central Louisiana, and again, if you look toward Jackson, Mississippi, that is a pretty nasty round of showers and thunderstorms that they will be dealing with, so the severe weather threat looks to be more east or mainly northeast of our region, getting into central Louisiana, into parts of Mississippi. That's where the chance for some some strong damaging winds and isolated tornadoes can occur. Now, we'll continue to keep watching it for our Jasper areas and Lufkin, but really the severe weather threat seems to be further to the east of our region. Biggest headline is going to be the temperatures. We're going to be into the upper 70s near the 80-degree mark really every day this week, but once we get into late Friday into Saturday, cold front moves through, highs back into the low 60s, getting into the upper 50s by the time we get into Tuesday. But notice low 60s this weekend into early next week. High temperatures today, sponsored by Silsby Ford. Get you one. Mainly going to be in that 80-degree mark is what we'll be dealing with. Down towards the coast will be a little bit cooler into the upper 60s. Overnight tonight, going to mainly be into the 60s. Further south that you go, you can get into the middle to upper 60s. Here's our 7-day forecast for, let me go back to Southeast Texas. I apologize for that. Here's our 7-day forecast for Southeast Texas. Warm conditions to finish out the week. Breezy conditions coming up Thursday and again on Friday. But coming up on Thursday, we can have 30 to if not 40 mile per hour gusts. And the strong cold front comes in early Saturday morning. But before that, we can have a chance of rain on Friday. A little bit better coverage in our northern counties. And then drier and cooler air moves into our region this weekend into early next week. Highs back into the 60s. Overnight lows back into the 40s and 30s. Here we are for Southwest Louisiana. Same song and dance. It's going to be warm to finish out the week. Windy conditions coming up Thursday and again on Friday. Storms are possible Friday. A little bit better coverage to our northern counties. And drier, cooler air starts pushing in by the time we get into the weekend. Highs back into the low 60s Saturday and Sunday. Overnight lows into the 40s, getting into the middle 30s by the time we get into Monday and Tuesday. Good time to go download the free Gulf Coast Weather Solution app. It's going to keep you updated what time that front's moving in, what time the storms can move in as well too, and then it's going to keep you updated with all the activity that's going on across the country. All of your updates are not only on Facebook, YouTube, but also right here in this app. So if you haven't yet, please go download the free Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app. Have a good Wednesday, and thanks for joining us. I will see y'all again Thursday morning, but our next video update will be with Mr. Lucas Boswick later this evening. Y'all have a good Wednesday. It's going to be warm the next couple of days, really to finish out the week, but some colder weather is on the way this weekend, and we'll stick around into early next week. Thanks for joining us. Have a good Wednesday.